Hello, welcome to episode 19 of the Tie-Dye Farmer video blog. If you happen to be somebody who watched episode 18, you know my friend Tricia and I were making soap last night, and we're here to demold. I shouldn't say we, because it's just me right now. We ended up making three different versions. I originally was planning on making just this, which is a eucalyptus peppermint soap. But some things happened along the way and we decided to do some different things. This is all naturally colored and it uses stevia, which is a herbal, sugar-free, calorie-free sweetener. We grow a lot of it and we happen to have extra. And it was one of the things that came up in the list of things to use as a natural colorant. We're doing our best to make all natural soaps. That means everything is, well, most of it is lard from our pigs. The colorant in this case is stevia, which we grew here. We have local honey is in this. It's a great additive to make it lather up nice and does some other things. So we have a local honey supplier. We get honey. Some different oils that we have to order, but they are all blended in for the sole purpose of making a very luxurious and enjoyable soap. So I'm going to cut this right now. I'm using a string cutter or wire cutter. This came from Plowboy's Wood Shop. And if you're interested in soap making, I can put a link to this. I love this cutter. It makes it very easy to cut. One item of note is these loaves sat out all night to harden and cool. I put them in the freezer about an hour ago, and that helps make a better cut and to make a cleaner demold. Makes the edges much nicer and much straighter. Nice thing with this cutter is one press through the whole thing and it cuts my whole loaf in perfectly equal sizes. And this is designed to make 1-inch bars. So what it is guitar strings, and it uses guitar tuners to tighten them. Each individual wire is individually tightened. I do that before I started to shoot the video, and allows me to cut the whole loaf. Those are the end pieces, and I will show you. This is our eucalyptus and peppermint bar colored with stevia. Now I'm going to put these on this rack here, and that is for drying purposes. This is hot processed soap, which means it does not need a curing time. A lot of the soap that you see at craft fairs and home crafted soap is cold process. And the difference with the cold process and the hot process is that the lye hasn't fully gone through its reaction in cold process soap and needs to sit on a rack for several weeks to go through the full saponification. Since we cook this, the saponification of all the oils and all of the lye is completely finished. This soap is ready to be used and there is no harm. Notice I'm not wearing any gloves. It is perfectly safe to do. If I were cutting cold process soap right now, I would be wearing gloves because it would still technically be caustic and it would need to sit on the curing rack for a while to finish the full process. There are some different reasons why we decided to go with hot process soap. One of them, namely, is that we can have better control of the oils that are left when we are finished. I'm going to do some videos in the future about our process. Some of it may be what we will consider trade secrets, but we do use a particular blend of what I will call is additive oils, because there are rules that says I can't say certain words about my soap like moisturizing, but I can tell you it's Pennsylvania, it's winter, it is the driest time of the year, and I love the feeling of my skin, and we've been receiving reviews on our sample bars that have been amazing, where people have gone out of their way to ask for more soap. We gave some samples out during Christmas, gave some to the waitress at the diner that we go to over the weekends, and she went out of her way last week to ask for more soap. She loved it and said her husband asked what she was doing differently because her skin felt so smooth and moist, and she attributes it to our soap. This particular soap is a honey oatmeal with vanilla, and this is completely natural color. I mentioned early that I was planning on doing all green soap, and it turned out that we had some things happen. We are using some new crock pots, and the temperatures were not even in them. And when we went to mix in our honey and our oatmeal and other oils, we had some interesting reactions. And when I checked, I noticed that the temperatures between the first one that you saw, which was green, this one, which is more of a tan color, and the final one, which is this one, which is a bit more, I would say, brownish. Each one reacted differently, and they were all different temperatures. The brown one, this one has no scent in it. We did nothing but make our base soap recipe. The only additives are the honey and the oatmeal. It has this wonderful scent. And for people who have memories triggered by scents, you'll understand what I'm talking about. My parents and I used to go to Atlantic City. We'd visit a casino. It was a great getaway. I'm not a gambler, but it was a nice place to go stay cheaply, walk the boardwalks. My wife and I would enjoy walking up and down the beach. But we would stay at the Tropicana. And they have a mall there, and the mall has a store. It's called the Old Farmer's Almanac store. And it has this great scent. And I don't know exactly what it is that makes the store smell like that, but this soap reminds me so much of the store, and I almost want to call it Farmer's Almanac soap because it just smells like that so much. Anyway, this is what happened with the other soap. Interestingly enough, this batch and this batch are the exact same recipe, except for the fact that we did a small vanilla addition at the very end to this one. The only differences were that they were cooked at different temperatures, and we added that honey at different temperatures, and there was a caramelization reaction that happened. And I love the fact that we can do this and naturally color our soaps in some different ways, strictly using that caramelization, but it even produced this interesting, lovely scent. That's the process that we go through for unmolding and cutting. If anybody's interested in some soap, we're going to be setting up a soap shop for our homestead. It's going to be part of our website. We have not done that yet, but go ahead and pop me an email. You can get in touch with me by sending an email to TDF. Yes, as in tie-dye farmer. Just the 3 letters TDF at harvestathome.com. Harvest at Home is the name of our homestead farm. And if you're interested in getting some soap to try, send me an email and we'll see what we can do about getting some soap to you. Anyway, this is all I have to say today. Thanks for joining me on my episode number 19, January 19th, 2017. This is The Tie-Dye Farmer.